Happy Friday, Hedgers. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to have a quick segment today. We're just going to talk a little French Open. I love watching the four tennis majors. It's really the only tennis I watch, admittedly, but the majors are a lot of fun. Especially the French Open is always crazy on the clay courts. You get a lot of upsets because some players are better and worse on the clay courts. Nadal's not playing this year, so your favorite for every French Open on the men's side is out, which kind of opens it up. You still got Alcaraz and Djokovic, obviously. Alcaraz is actually the favorite, but just like minus 110-ish or minus 150 something. So there's not like a clear favorite. And Djokovic is, I'll look it up. I think he's at like plus 190, plus 180. So if you're on FanDuel, Alcaraz is actually plus 140. So there's, they're all in the plus, no matter who you pick. So that's good. Good odds everywhere. It's always hard to bet against Djokovic. He's been in and out of tournaments with the whole COVID stuff. So I know who knows where he is. He's always been pretty good at the French Open, but it's with Nadal there, it's hard to say, who's going to step up with Nadal gone. So that makes it exciting. On the women's side, you got Swiatek has been pretty dominant the last couple of years, but you got some others creeping in here and there. On the American side, you got Coco Gauff and Sloane Stephens, who seem to do pretty good on the clay courts. So they could be a fun little underdog pick. I've got one woman that I have picked for the last couple of years at a bunch of majors, and she's, she doesn't always win, but she usually goes pretty far. And then once they get far enough, when you're picking them early at like plus 3,000, then you start hedging, of course, and you start making the money. And that is Ons Jabeur for me, the Tunisian woman. I don't know. I picked her one time, like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, maybe. And she made it all the way to the finals against Swiatek, and I hedged like crazy and made a bunch of money. So I'm always go with her from here on out. That's kind of my, my fun story to have someone to cheer for. So saying that, let's go ahead and jump into some picks. I'm not going to pick any clear favorites. That doesn't make it as fun. We're going to give you some underdogs to maybe make a little bit of money. They're not going to be official picks, just kind of the unofficial picks page, on the tab on our Google Sheets there, where we have, some F1, some golf, some of the sports that we don't watch as much, but it's fun to pick, So let me share my screen with you real quick and show you what I'm looking at. Oh, wait, first, I forgot to welcome you. Welcome to the Hedge with Double D. How can I forget?
The Hedge with Double D.
Got to get the sounder in there. I worked so hard making. All right. Now I'll share my screen. Get all that out of there. Okay. So I've already put some of my picks in here. You can look at it as I'm talking. Again, I'm going to take, I'm really going to be focusing on Jabeur and Tsitsipas on the men's side. Those are my two picks that I'm kind of rolling with. I'm not going to pick any of the favorites. But of course, if Jabeur or Tsitsipas make it to the semifinals, if they make it to the finals, start hedging heavy because you're going to make big money no matter what. So go ahead and make those hedges, because especially if they go into the finals against like Djokovic or Swiatek, they're most likely going to lose. So make sure you hedge. And if I might be messing up names here and there. With tennis, it's mainly not. There's some names that you don't see a lot, or that are just harder to pronounce for someone not super cultured, I guess you want to say. But I'm gonna do my best. So again, we're gonna start with Ons Jabeur. Jabeur, I did look that up. I'm pretty sure it's Jabeur. So Ons Jabeur, to win it all is at 2,200. So I'm gonna put that in, and then if she makes it to the semis, I'm gonna start hedging. Her biggest match is going to be when she goes against, hold up, let me see here. Oh, I can't remember the woman's name right now, but she's going to have, well, this is all getting in the way. Hold up. So she has to play the number 2 or number 3 player in the semis. So that'll be her toughest match. And then it would be Swiatek in the finals. So she doesn't have to face her until the finals. Let's see if we can look it up real quick. Otherwise, Rebel Kenya. I know I'm messing that up, but Rebel Kenya, whatever that is, she'll have to face her in the semifinals. That's going to be her biggest test for sure, which is why I'm also going to pick her just to reach the semifinals. So you have her just to, you can get her at plus 350 just to reach the semifinal to make it to that final four there. And I feel like plus 350 is a really good bet. She's been winning in straight sets the last couple days. She's looking good. So I think if you might as well take both of those. Her to reach the semis, and if she does reach the semis, use some of that money and start hedging on the champion. Another fun pick on the women's side before I move to the guys' side. Here we go. Women's futures is, I think Sloane Stephens could be a really fun big upset pick. Same with Coco Gauff, but I'm going with Sloane Stephens. She's been playing really well. Let me put her on here. She's at plus 4,200, so like that's a massive numbers there. Great odds. So 4,200 to win. That's another big underdog pick. Again, if she makes it even to like the quarterfinals, maybe start hedging there. Put 20, 30. I mean, you're going to win. If you put $10 down, you win 420. So you can start hedging like $50 at that point if you want, because you're going to win big money no matter what. And I don't think she's ever going to be a big time underdog. I think Vegas is going to like her at certain points. Americans are betting a lot on this, and she's an American, so they're going to keep those odds down because Americans like to bet on Americans, just like any country, I'd imagine. So Sloane Stephens is my big underdog of 4,200. Otherwise, if we go to the men's side, I'm going with Tsitsipas. He's gotten so close so many times. He seems to go really far a lot, and then he just can't get over the big hump, whether it's to Djokovic, Alcaraz, whoever. So to get him to win it all is plus 1,900, which feels like pretty good odds because I think he'll make it pretty far. And then, of course, start hedging those bets once he makes it to the semifinals. I can't pull up his semifinals right now because he's currently playing. He's going to win. He's up 2 sets to nil already. To nil. He's up 2 sets to love, whatever. 2 sets to love to 0. And he's in the third set. He was up like 5-1 or 4-1 last time I checked. So he's going to win probably in 3 straight sets, which is always good when you're picking him to go far. So I'll update the exact number for him to reach the semis once that is available. But I'm guessing it's going to be around like 260, 250, somewhere like that, maybe low 200s. Because he's going to have to beat Alcaraz in the quarterfinals to make it to the semis. So that's obviously going to be his toughest matchup, even if he makes it to the finals. So he's going to have to get over that hump. We're going to bet on him to get over the hump. I think it happens. Alcaraz he's had a couple offsets this French Open. So I think it's a smart play to play Tsitsipas. My other really big underdog to play would be Lorenzo Musetti, an Italian, playing really well. Just took down another really good player, Nori, in straight sets, and he's been playing really well. Obviously, now's the time to get him if you want him, because next he's going to have to play Alcaraz, who's technically Alcaraz is playing right now, so he could lose, but he's already up. Like, I think he won the first set 6-0. So right now is the time to jump on to Musetti, because with that 5,000, if he does beat Alcaraz, that's going to drop down a lot. And if he does beat Alcaraz, start hedging, because again, you got the $500, right there. Start using that to hedge with, so that you win at least a little bit of money. So that's my unofficial picks for the French Open. I'm excited to watch it all go down. It's hard to watch it all because it's like starts at like 1 a.m. our time, so you can watch some replays. A lot of the games, surprisingly, are streaming on FanDuel. If you go to the match on FanDuel, you can just watch it live, which really surprised me. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, it's a lot of ESPN Plus, stuff like that. So try to watch it on FanDuel if you have an account. I don't know if all the games are on there or not, but some that I've looked in are on there. So that's really cool of them to do. I will update the Tsitsipas reaching the semifinals numbers probably this afternoon once they put those back out, once all those games are done. But otherwise, yeah, here are the bets. Tell me what you think. Put a little money down if you really feel confident about it. And remember, hedge those bets. Let's make some money. Thank y'all for joining me.